If you have eaten any plant food today, you certainly owe it to the use of a pesticide. It may have been a synthetic chemical if your food was grown conventionally, or a biopesticide if grown organically, or it could have been something that is used in both types of agriculture, a copper pesticide. Copper was the first chemical to be formulated as a pesticide in 1885 in Bordeaux by the French botanist Pierre-Marie Alexis Millardet. Millardet noticed that grapes painted in blue by copper sulfate and lime to make them look inedible to passers-by never got mildew. The Bordeaux mixture became a planetary success, to be followed by other copper formulations that together control hundreds of different pathogens. Copper has thus been massively released into the soil for the last 135 years. Today, about 75% of all copper chemicals produced every year are used in agriculture. This is a huge amount. For example, 200,000 tons of copper sulfate are needed each year to manufacture copper fungicides. How harmful is this massive release of copper? To answer this question, one must realize that only soluble copper, the cupric ion, is biologically active. And it is the dose that makes the poison. At very low doses, copper is essential for plant and animal life. At slightly higher levels, it acts as a pesticide with negligible toxicity, but above a certain threshold, it becomes clearly toxic. So, copper products are formulated to release only small amounts of soluble copper in the right range. The bulk of copper remains insoluble, inactive, so that even the most careful organic farmers accept copper as a healthy alternative to chemicals. But copper is accumulating in the environment, and the buildup will end up being toxic. Current practices are unsustainable, a time bomb. All professionals agree that agriculture cannot currently operate without copper. The only sensible way forward is to find ways to use less copper, and this is where Novochizol comes into play. Novochizol is a first-in-class type of cross-linked chitosan with unique properties as a pesticide coformulant. It acts as a plant-friendly adhesive sponge that slowly releases incorporated active ingredients only at the site of administration. It is technology for precision agriculture. Chitosan itself can bind a substantial amount of copper, fulfilling the main requirement for a copper pesticide formulation. But in practice, normal chitosan doesn't work, while Novochizol works beautifully. A Novochizol formulation is a rather low-tech procedure. It consists in mixing an active ingredient with Novochizol in a regular manner under vigorous sonication. In this example, a soluble form of copper sulfate, is formulated. When you try to do this with chitosan, the complex precipitates, the product is unusable. But with Novochizol, the result is very different. A stable, low viscosity suspension of microscopic particles. The same formulation protocol works for insoluble forms of copper. In this example, we started with copper hydroxide, a powder that immediately settles when added to water. Yet, within minutes, Novochizol transforms this insoluble powder into a suspension of particles small enough to become invisible in a light microscope. For all other formulated copper derivatives, similar results were obtained. Low viscosity suspensions that are stable and can be easily sprayed, combined with others, or dried. And at least one of our formulations holds the promise of becoming a game changer in the copper pesticide industry. Experiments assessing the characteristics of Novochizol-based copper formulations are works in progress, but we wanted to take a shortcut and get an answer to what may be the most important question. How does a low-dose Novochizol-based copper formulation impact harvest? We have obtained the first answer to that question for wheat. In a field trial launched in May of 2021, spring wheat plants at the heading stage received a single foliar treatment of a Novochizol-based copper formulation at a concentration that can't even be compared to the amounts used in standard protocols. This treatment alone resulted in a 6.5 increase in the harvest. But the most promising result, a 10% increase, that's 340 kilograms per hectare, was obtained when the seeds were initially coated with a Novochizol-based fungicide formulation. Though this was a chemical treatment, the dose was 13-fold lower than that recommended for the reference commercial product. As for the copper amount used, it was 3 orders of magnitude lower than the maximum annual amount authorized in organic agriculture. This is just one field trial, and we know we need others. But data is always data. We are convinced that Novochizol can become a paradigm changer in the way copper is used as a plant protection product worldwide. And copper is not alone. Excessive pesticide use is a general problem. Overall, 3 billion kilograms of pesticides are used worldwide every year, but only 1% serves the purpose. The rest is waste released into the environment. Can Novochizol help prevent this overuse and thus support a more sustainable and responsible agriculture? We believe it can, and we would love to be challenged in our belief. We invite you to join the adventure. My name is Ivan Laroche, CEO of Novochizol at the BioArc in Monte Valais, the sunniest canton of Switzerland.